No, you got to go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about...
I'm not gonna lie, after we found out why Beyonce made a lot of the songs that she did and for what reasons, I'm not shocked one bit to find out that Jay-Z is allegedly listed in the Epstein.
1 minute people were arguing about album rankings and tour visuals. The next minute, the Epstein file buzz started trending again. And somehow Beyonce's name was drifting through the chaos like someone dropped it into a thunderstorm on purpose. No confirmed allegation. No official statement linking her to wrongdoing in this context. Just a trending wave moving faster than common sense. And then 50 Cent reacts. Now, if you know anything about 50, you know he doesn't casually scroll past. Controversy. He jumps in. He comments. He nudges the algorithm with just enough spice to make the whole thing louder. Within minutes, screenshots of his reaction were flying across platforms like limited edition sneakers on release day. Reaction pages clipped it. Comment sections turned into debate arenas. Suddenly it wasn't just about files trending. It was about why Beyonce's name was trending. Was it coincidence? Association? Pure internet overreach? Supporters rushed to shut it down, pointing out that trending doesn't equal involvement. Critics leaned into the curiosity, asking questions that didn't come with answers, and that's where things got messy. Because in the digital age, attention moves first and facts jog behind it. Once a name sits next to controversy long enough, perception starts playing tricks. The algorithm doesn't verify. It amplifies. When the Epstein file buzz resurfaced, it didn't creep back quietly. It crashed into timelines like a sequel nobody asked for, but everybody clicked on anyway. Every time documents, court transcripts, or sealed records trend, social media instantly transforms into a digital investigation unit. Threads stretch endlessly. Old images resurface. Names get typed into search bars at record speed. Curiosity becomes contagious within minutes. Somewhere in that swirl of speculation, Beyonce's name began trending. Not because of a confirmed allegation in this context. Not because of an official legal update. But because people online started connecting dots that may not have belonged on the same page. The algorithm doesn't check for precision. It checks for engagement. And engagement was through the roof. That's the thing about extreme fame. When you operate at Beyonce's level, your name exists in a constant state of visibility. If anything controversial trends, your name can get pulled into it simply because of proximity, past appearances, or online curiosity. Visibility creates vulnerability. Not legally, but digitally. And digital narratives spread faster than corrections. As the trend picked up steam, users began reposting screenshots and asking open-ended questions. No direct accusations, just speculation framed as curiosity. Why is this name trending? What connections exist?
The phrasing
Was careful, but the impact was loud. Online, implication often carries more weight than a statement ever could. Then 50 Cent reacted. And that's when the volume doubled. 50 has built a reputation for stepping into viral conversations without hesitation. He doesn't approach headlines like a cautious journalist. He approaches them like a commentator who understands the value of timing. His reaction wasn't investigative. It wasn't a declaration of fact. It was commentary, sharp, slightly provocative, and perfectly engineered. For screenshots. Within minutes, his post was circulating everywhere. Reaction pages reposted it. Commentary channels clipped it. Debates formed instantly. Some viewers treated it as humorous engagement. Others felt reacting to serious trending topics, even casually, can add unintended weight. Regardless of interpretation, one truth was clear: his involvement amplified the buzz dramatically. Supporters of Beyonce were immediate in their response. They emphasized the absence of verified links or accusations in this context. They pointed out that trending alongside a topic does not equal involvement in it. Being famous means your name gets pulled into conversations you didn't initiate. The louder the speculation grew, the stronger their pushback became. Critics, however, leaned into the momentum. They didn't make definitive claims. They simply kept asking questions. And social media loves questions more than answers. A question mark allows curiosity to expand without crossing into direct accusation. That gray area is where viral debates thrive. The deeper issue wasn't documentation. It was perception. Once a name trends beside controversy long enough, even digitally, it creates association. And association can linger even when there's no evidence supporting it. That's the strange math of the algorithm. Visibility plus controversy equals attention. Influencers began dissecting the moment from multiple angles. Some focused on the dangers of digital implication. Others zoomed out to discuss celebrity culture itself. A few leaned into sensational framing because sensationalism drives views. Each angle extended the lifespan of the debate. Meanwhile, Beyoncé remained publicly silent. No immediate rebuttal, no dramatic clarification. And silence in viral culture becomes its own storyline. Supporters interpreted it as confidence. Critics interpreted it as strategic distance. The internet rarely interprets silence as neutral. It fills the gap with whatever narrative fits best. The files themselves hadn't changed. No new revelations had surfaced in that moment. What changed was attention. Once enough users began pairing names together in posts and searches, the trend gained momentum independent of facts. Attention became the driving force. 50's reaction kept the conversation circulating. Some argued he was simply engaging with what was already trending. Others felt that amplifying speculation, even indirectly, adds fuel to a sensitive topic. But either way, the algorithm rewarded the engagement. And once engagement spikes, the topic stays alive. Memes began appearing shortly after. Dramatic captions, over-the-top edits, screenshots blown out of proportion for comedic effect. Humor layered itself over seriousness in a way only the internet can manage. The situation felt surreal, part controversy, part spectacle. What this first wave revealed is how quickly digital culture can blur lines. A trending topic sparks curiosity. A high-profile reaction amplifies it. The association grows louder than the source. By the time fact-based discussions try to regain control, the narrative has already splintered into multiple interpretations. No confirmed accusations emerged in this context. No legal updates shifted the landscape. Just a viral spiral fueled by attention, proximity, and reaction. And in today's online ecosystem, that's sometimes enough to create a headline hurricane. Because in the digital era, you don't have to be involved in something to trend alongside it. Sometimes all it takes is visibility, and the algorithm does the rest. If the first wave was confusion, the second wave was amplification on steroids. Because once 50 Cent's reaction started circulating, the conversation stopped being about documents and started being about personalities. The files were the spark, but the reaction became the gasoline. Social media didn't slow down to verify. It accelerated to engage. And engagement is the only language the algorithm truly understands. Reaction. Channels wasted no time. Within hours, thumbnails with shocked expressions and bold text were everywhere. Commentary creators dissected tone like it was a courtroom transcript. Some framed 50's response as harmless trolling. Others framed it as reckless amplification. The debate shifted from "what's in the files" to "why did he say that?" The spotlight moved fast. Meanwhile, Beyoncé's name continued trending simply because it was trending. That's the strangest part of viral culture. A name gains momentum, and the momentum sustains itself. Users who hadn't even seen the original clip began reposting it. People who didn't read a single document formed strong opinions. Curiosity snowballed into commentary. Supporters of Beyoncé doubled down on shutting down speculation. They emphasized that no verified source connected her to wrongdoing in this context. They highlighted how dangerous it is to pair celebrity names with serious controversies without evidence. For them, this wasn't entertainment. It was reputation at stake. Critics didn't necessarily accuse directly. Instead, they leaned into ambiguity. They asked questions without conclusions. Why is this trending? What connections exist? Those questions traveled fast because they allowed doubt to exist without making a formal claim. In online culture, uncertainty spreads more easily than confirmation. The meme cycle reached full force. Sarcastic edits, dramatic slow-motion clips, over-the-top captions implying suspense. Humor blended with seriousness in a way that felt chaotic but strangely predictable. The internet often treats sensitive subjects like entertainment packages, and this moment followed that pattern exactly. Then came the broader debate. Influencers began discussing digital responsibility. Should public figures comment on trending controversies at all? Does joking about serious topics contribute to misinformation? Or is it simply part of free expression in a viral ecosystem? These questions generated their own wave of content. What's fascinating is that nothing new had actually surfaced. No fresh legal developments, no official announcements. The only new element was amplification. Attention had shifted from documents to reactions. And reactions tend to generate more engagement than paperwork ever could. 50 Cent's involvement ensured the topic didn't fade quickly. He understands timing. He understands that reacting to a trending headline extends its lifespan. Some viewers admired the boldness. Others criticized the casual tone around a sensitive subject. But regardless of opinion, his post kept the spotlight. At the same time, Beyoncé's silence became louder by the hour. Without a direct response, the internet filled the vacuum. Some praised her for not dignifying speculation with a reaction. Others argued that addressing trends head-on can sometimes end them faster. Silence in viral culture is never interpreted. Consistently. The conversation evolved again. It wasn't just about Beyoncé or 50 anymore. It became about how celebrity names move through controversy cycles. Fame operates differently online. The more visible you are, the more likely your name gets dragged into unrelated storms. The algorithm doesn't differentiate between relevance and recognition. Digital association became the key theme. Being photographed at events, attending public gatherings, existing in elite circles. These elements are enough for social media to draw lines that may not reflect reality. Proximity gets mistaken for participation. Visibility becomes vulnerability. As days passed, think pieces popped up analyzing the mechanics of viral storms. Commentators broke down how trending algorithms function. Engagement triggers exposure. Exposure triggers more engagement. And once high-profile names are attached, the cycle becomes self-sustaining. The storm feeds itself. Yet through all the noise, one fact remained unchanged. No verified evidence emerged linking Beyoncé to wrongdoing in this context. The conversation was fueled by momentum, not documentation. That distinction is crucial, even if it doesn't trend as loudly. The escalation phase revealed something deeper about digital culture. Attention often outruns accuracy. Reaction often overshadows evidence. And once a name becomes part of a viral pairing, separating fact from assumption requires deliberate effort. Most timelines don't slow down long enough to make that effort. By the end of this second wave, the story wasn't about files anymore. It was about perception, reaction, and the mechanics of online amplification. The documents remained static. The narrative evolved rapidly. And the internet, as always, moved on to the next headline while leaving this one archived in memory. As the viral storm began to slow, the real consequences started showing up quietly, not in courtrooms, not in official statements, but in perception. Because when your name trends beside controversy, even without verified involvement, it leaves a digital shadow. The timeline may move on, but search engines don't forget. Screenshots don't expire. Associations linger longer than the original headline. For Beyoncé, this moment reinforces a familiar reality of extreme fame. When you operate at global icon status, your name doesn't just appear in music conversations, it appears everywhere. If a major scandal trends, someone somewhere will attempt to connect it to you. Not because of evidence, but because visibility invites speculation. And speculation feeds on visibility. For 50 Cent, the aftermath highlights his dual role in digital culture. He's not just an artist, he's a commentator, a headline amplifier. A master of strategic engagement. Some viewers admire that. Others question whether reacting to sensitive topics carries unintended consequences. But there's no denying one thing. When he speaks, people listen. The conversation gradually shifted from the individuals to the mechanics behind the moment. Influencers began analyzing how viral storms form. It starts with a trending topic. Then a recognizable name enters the discussion. Then a high-profile reaction magnifies it. And suddenly, speculation feels louder than evidence. That's the blueprint. What stands out most is how little confirmed information was required to sustain days of debate. No verified allegations in this context. No official legal developments tying Beyoncé to wrongdoing. Yet the association trended intensely. That's the power of digital momentum. It doesn't require proof. It requires clicks. Silence played a complex role. Beyoncé's choice not to publicly address the trend kept her from amplifying it further. Supporters viewed that silence as confidence. Critics framed it as strategic quiet. But in viral culture, silence rarely ends a narrative. It simply allows the conversation to burn itself out. Slowly, the broader impact goes beyond one trending cycle. It reveals how quickly reputation can become collateral damage in attention-driven ecosystems. Once your name sits beside controversy, even briefly, the pairing becomes searchable. It becomes archived. And even when clarification exists, it rarely travels as fast as the original buzz. For 50 Cent, the moment likely reinforces his brand. Identity, outspoken, reactive, unfiltered. He thrives in spaces where conversation moves quickly. But the flip side of that influence is amplification. When you react, even casually, your audience may interpret it as validation. That dynamic adds weight to every post. The internet eventually shifted focus, as it always does. New stories emerged. Fresh debates captured attention. But this chapter remains digitally preserved. If either name trends again in future controversies, screenshots from this moment may resurface as context. That's the permanence of online memory. What this saga ultimately demonstrates is how attention operates independently of confirmation. Once enough users pair names together, the association gains its own life. Even if there's no verified wrongdoing, perception doesn't pause to differentiate. It reacts first. It reflects later. The most dramatic twist is that nothing fundamentally changed. No new legal facts surfaced. No official accusations were announced. The documents remained the same. The only variable was attention. And attention, once amplified, can make even ordinary proximity feel explosive. As the dust settles, one truth becomes unavoidable. Viral culture doesn't need certainty to create spectacle. It needs engagement. It needs recognizable names. It needs reactions that spark debate. And once those elements align, the storm forms quickly. For the audience, this moment serves as a reminder to separate trending from truth. Just because two names appear side by side online doesn't mean they belong in the same narrative. Algorithms reward curiosity, not accuracy. That distinction matters more than ever. In the end, no confirmed wrongdoing emerged in this context. What remained was a conversation about perception, influence, and the speed of speculation. A viral ripple that became a wave, not because of evidence, but because of attention. Was this just another example of the internet turning a trending topic into a headline hurricane? Or do you think celebrities, especially ones with massive platforms, need to be more careful when reacting to sensitive conversations? Did 50 Cent simply do what he always does? Or did his reaction pour gasoline on a situation that was already burning? Drop your honest opinion in the comments, not the safe answer. The real one. Do you believe trending names create unfair suspicion? Or is this just the price of fame in the age of screenshots and hashtags? Let's have the debate right here. If this breakdown kept you locked in from start to finish, smash that like button like it owes you rent. Subscribe like you're securing front row seats to the next viral storm.